The scent of burnt engine fuel hangs heavy in the air, a ghost that refuses to be exorcised. Through the reinforced glass of a holding cell, the void of space stretches out, a vast, indifferent ocean punctuated by the jagged silhouettes of alien warships. It has been 3 days since the Loire Imperial fleet turned the Horizon Dawn into drifting scrap. Kieran Voss stands at the precipice of his own end, staring into that abyss. He remembers the screams of his crew, the sudden vacuum claiming Tanner and Marina. But grief is a luxury he cannot afford. In narratives like this, survival isn't about luck. It is about unyielding, calculated intent. The Loire Guards, reptilian predators with amber slit eyes, see only a broken human, a combat slave, branded for the arena. They see a victim. They are wrong. Kieran isn't a simple trader who wandered off the map. For 5 years, he has been a ghost in the machine, hunting the rimworlds for a whisper of his brother, Eli. Rumors of survivors from a crash, captives taken to the dust-choked world of Kolarv. Getting captured wasn't a mistake. It was the only way in. The arena of Kolarv rises from the red dust like an ancient, infected wound. Under the binary suns, thousands of scaled spectators bay for blood. Beneath the stone pillars, in the cramping dark of the pens, Kieran calculates. A fellow prisoner, a hulking Dravari named Corval, offers a grim warning. Kieran's opponent is Kalara. She is a disgraced war leader, a blue-scaled ex-commander stripped of rank for showing mercy to humans. When the gates grind open, the heat hits like a physical blow. Kalara enters, a vision of lethal grace in minimal armor, wielding a double-bladed glaive. She expects a quick execution. But when she strikes, seeking to sever his head, her blade meets only air. Kieran moves not with the brute force of a gladiator, but with the fluidity of water. He evades, redirects, and disarms her, twisting her wrist with precise, agonizing control until she drops. The crowd screams for the kill. It is the way of their world. Victory demands death. But Kieran steps back. He drops his weapon. He defies the narrative written for him. The silence that follows is louder than the roar. Later, in the sterile light of the infirmary, a concussed Kalara demands to see the slave who spared her. They meet in an interrogation room, stripped of weapons, but armed with suspicion. Kieran, silenced by a neural suppression collar, plays his ace. He reveals a concealed holoprojector, displaying a boy with dark hair and striking blue eyes. Eli. Recognition flickers in Kalara's crimson gaze. She speaks of rumors, of Sector 4 in the mining colonies, of hybrid programs trying to fuse human adaptability with Loire's strength. Those blue eyes are a prized genetic trait. But why help him? Why risk what little life she has left? Because you spared me, she realizes, her voice thick with a conflict that transcends species. Years ago, during the Granar campaign, she refused to bombard a civilian settlement. She lost her command, her honor, her house. But she remembers the human woman who thanked her through the containment glass. In a universe defined by conquest, mercy is the ultimate rebellion. They forge a pact in the shadows. Through choreographed sparring matches, they exchange plans. The festival of ascension will be their stage. The day comes. The arena overflows with the elite. In the center of the sand, the overseer removes Kieran's collar for the reckoning of honor. The fight begins, a theatrical dance of steel and sparks, until the signal is given. Kalara screams for glory, raising her glaive for the death blow, but pivots at the last second. She hurls the weapon into the overseer's booth, shattering the control panel. Chaos erupts. It is a beautiful, violent distraction. As guards swarm Kalara, she shoves Kieran toward a hidden maintenance hatch. 19 minutes, she hisses. Go. Kieran descends into the bowels of the facility. The air turns stale, recycled. He retrieves a cache Kalara planted, a rebreather, a jammer, a stunner. He moves through the labyrinthine tunnels like a virus entering a bloodstream, dispatching guards with silent efficiency. He breaches the sterile, terrifying quiet of the labor complex. Sector 4. He finds him behind reinforced glass. Subject E-17. Eli is thinner, scarred by needles and time, hooked to monitoring machines. When Kieran opens the cell, the boy recoils, thinking it another simulation. Another cruel test. Kieran activates the holo, the image of Eli at 14 blowing out birthday candles. The reality of it shatters Eli's defenses. The reunion is frantic, a desperate collision of two souls who thought they were alone in the universe. But the collar around Eli's neck is rigged with toxins. A failsafe. As footsteps thunder down the hall, Kieran hotwires the device, short-circuiting the mechanism just as security forces breach the corridor. The brothers fight their way out, moving as a synchronized unit. They reach a junction, but Eli stops. He knows there are others, 23 subjects in cell block J12. He refuses to leave them to the Empire's retribution. It is a mirror of Kalara's choice. Survival is meaningless without humanity. Kieran understands. He hacks the environmental control, triggering an emergency ventilation purge that overrides the security lockdowns. The doors slide open. The prisoners, sensing the shift in power, rise up. The labor complex descends into anarchy. They fight toward the shuttle bays, but the Loire response is overwhelming. They are pinned down. Kieran makes the hard call. He sends Eli and the others to the extraction point and turns back toward the facility's heart. He must buy them time. Kieran infiltrates the central reactor. With the cold precision of an engineer, he initiates a cascading overload in the cooling system. The alarms scream a warning, 15 minutes to critical mass. He escapes through the maintenance tunnels, surfacing back in the arena. The revolt has spread here, too. He finds Kalara amidst the carnage, rifle in hand. She sees the countdown in his eyes. The shuttles are compromised, but she has one final play. Using her old command codes, Authorization Epsilon 17, she hails the Imperial fleet in orbit, claiming the facility is overrun and high-value officers require extraction. The Empire, arrogant and predictable, sends sleek military dropships to rescue their own. Instead, they find Kieran, Kalara, and a waiting army of liberated slaves. The hijacking is swift. As the commandeered vessels lift off, Kieran spots Eli pulling survivors aboard. They reunite on the bridge just as the dropship breaks the atmosphere. Below them, the Kolarv labor complex vanishes in a blinding sphere of plasma fire. The arena, the labs, the pain, all of it scrubbed clean by the white-hot light of destruction. In the silence of the cockpit, looking down at the burning world that was once her home, Kalara makes her choice. She leaves the ashes of the Empire behind. "What now?" Eli asks, his voice rough, watching the fires fade into the dark. "They'll hunt us." Kieran touches the skin of his neck, finally free of the collar. He looks at Kalara, then at his brother. "Then we'll be ready." The ship turns toward the deep unknown, carrying a cargo of souls who learn that freedom isn't something you are given. It is something you take, 15 seconds at a time.